Hello Capsuleer, my name is Gildy and welcome to EVE Online. I have been thinking recently about some interactions I have with new players. How we take some of our knowledge for granted and things we think are obvious can blow someone's mind. So today we will dive into EVE Online's UI. Yes, the thing that you often do things against, not thanks to. Tips are in no particular order and level of complication, so you might find things you already know, or things you had no idea about. Let's dive right into the first one. This one goes to all the newbies or people that just came back into the game and still need to get up to speed and remind themselves where everything is. Enter the pointer window. Using it and linking UI elements to new bros blew so many minds throughout the years. I am really surprised this is not a part of Neocom right from the start. If you want to find it, go to Neocom, Utilities, Pointer Window. Extra tip? Right-click it and hit Add Shortcut. This will pin it into the bar so that you don't have to go through Neocom every single time. What this little window allows you to do is to either look through all the options available in the UI, sorted by categories, or if you know what is the name of the thing you're looking for, simply type it into the filter bar. In this example, I want to find where mining ledger is. Type it and voila, we got it under Neocom. But the magic does not end there. Click the button on the right and you will get a pointer that will guide you right through the whole menu. Last thing, if you are helping someone out, you can drag the ledger into a chat, which makes a nice blue link. Anyone that clicks that link can get the same guidance you just got, which makes explaining things to new bros so much easier. Second tip I want to share with you is how you can redesign the menu next to Neocom. Never looking for stuff? Don't want to show the system you are in easily while streaming to some buddies on Discord? Want to get rid of the event tab with goals because you completed them all and are no longer interested, or simply want to change what the orders of things are? There is a way to do it. See those little buttons above my search everything bar? Yes, they are there for a reason. If you click any of them, it turns off and on the exact section of the UI. If you left click and hold, then drag them, it will change the order in which they are displayed. This allows you to modify the UI and have things that you use the most closer to the other sections of the UI you use when you are flying your ships. Next on the chopping block is the radial menus. I know, you right-click purists don't want to hear about it, but hear me out. And for new players, check this out, you might like how this works and speeds up your actions. So instead of right-clicking everything to be able to interact with the galaxy of New Eden, try to left-click and hold. What I prefer about the radial menus myself is that if you open it on a gate, ship, station or whatever else, the actions never change their place regardless of your status, being able to warp to something or being in warp, being in fleet, etc. This leads to situations where inputting commands can become muscle memory. Another neat thing is that the radial menu actually gives you real-time feedback. This means that if you hover over a warp button there and the warping is not available yet, the button will be grayed out. You can keep the menu open and the moment warping is available, the button lights up and just becomes available again, rather than you having to keep right-clicking something to see if the warp is there or not. You can change which button triggers radial menu opening. Default is left-click and hold, but in game options, under gameplay, you can set it to left, middle, right or extra mouse buttons. Moreover, for some people that hate the delay in using radial menus, you can also set it in the same place. From no delay whatsoever, meaning that even tapping the button opens a radial menu, to however long you want it really. I put it a little bit away from the non-setting as I use radial menus on left mouse button because any tap would open a menu which looked quite disorienting. Default setting is in the middle, so you can experiment with how it works for you. Extra tip here, there is also a way to get broadcast radial menus for fleets, but those are, well, not programmable under the left or right click. You can bind it to middle mouse button though, making you able to not only broadcast with radial menus, but see the cooldown, because there is a cooldown before you can throw another target command, for example, by simply graying out the button again. Another neat tip is about dealing with ewar. There are two ways to see who does what type of ewar to you. One is your overview. You can see ships there and tiny icons of what is being dealt to you over there. The other one is above your capacitor. If you hover your cursor over those little circles there, you can see a list of which ships exactly are dealing what kind of ewar against your ship. The tip does not end here, however. If you keep hovering over the icons above your capacitor, hold Ctrl and left click, you will start locking back actual ships that are dealing the type of ewar to you. This means that if you are in a target-rich environment and are not bothered with which ships you lock first, you have a very quick way of locking them back by spamming Ctrl left click on the icon. Last one for today deals with modules you see when you undock. Vast majority of the time, you do not need to see all the empty slots in your UI, and you do not need to see your passive modules. You bring them back when you get into PvP or high-end PvE content where overheating is a thing and you need to look at the damage levels of all your modules. Believe me, when you start playing, you don't need all the passive modules. It makes it easier to find the active ones, especially if you have such a mess in your UI because you didn't move the modules around, making the lines of active modules above the rest. So if you would like to attempt cleaning up your UI and making using your ship a little bit easier, here is where you can turn those off and even turn off the empty slot spaces to make everything look nice and tidy. Next to your capacitor, you can see that little menu button. Clicking that brings up various settings. Two important ones for your UI are showing or hiding empty slots and hiding passive modules. With just those two clicks, you can make your module layout a way lesser mess. As I said before, at some point you will want those passive modules back on, but if you're completely new, there is no need for you to have to deal with this mess with every ship you board. This only leaves the active modules for you, so you can move them around, especially if, rather than using the F buttons, you are left-clicking to activate your modules. This will have you reacting to situations, turning modules on and off way faster. While we are at the topic of that menu, do explore the options it gives you. From having readouts of your ship HP on at all times, or having it shown as percentage of your overall HP, having zoom buttons in case your mouse wheel does not work, turning module tooltips off because you know them all by heart, to even being able to set at which percent of your shield, armor, hull HP you will hear the distinct alarm sounds, and even being able to move where various messages pop up, including the damage coming in and out, etc. And that's all the tips I have for you today. If you have any that you would like me to share with the others, drop them in the comments. I would love to see if you got any ideas that I haven't written down yet. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a corp mate that might need it, leave a like and subscribe to see my future uploads. If you are interested in what I will talk about next, my videos go up every Sunday. And if we never see each other in space again, Capsulia, fly safe.